He's the tiny chihuahua of Morning Talk Radio. You do not want to talk to him before he's had coffee. It's your host, Adam Josh.
Hello. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, everyone. How are you doing? And welcome to the Morning Banana Show. My name is Adam Josh. Kind of confused as to why I have Sharpies and pens in my pocket. Sure, I'll keep the pen. Actually, making myself a coffee, and then I gotta get out of here. I had a wake-up call from a parts supplier saying the parts that you ordered are $176. And I was quoted $6. That's a bit of a jump, right? So that was my first thing I dealt with this morning. And then I went over back to this ambulance place that they off-sell bandages and packages of things for restaurant grade stuff. You know, when you're at a restaurant, it's probably good to have a first aid kit. So, and I'm in there to pick up 3, one for each of the local restaurants that we run. And, you know, they're like, "Who are you? Who is your dad? Who are these? Who? We don't know." Well, you called us. We ordered it, and you called us, telling us it was in here. So I'm here to pick it up. But who are you? We don't know. We don't know who is. So I was like, okay, I'll come back tomorrow. This is yesterday. I came back tomorrow morning when somebody who was supposedly supposed to be in their office, who knows what they're doing, was there. And even the lady who knew what she was doing in the office had no idea who I was. So another day in paradise. That's what it is. Welcome to Morning Banana number 26. Special guest coming up, I should tell you. We have confirmed that Paul Michael Bales will be on the show, which will be interesting. I think I'm going to get him on because Paul Michael Bales is in England. So I'm going to be getting him on via Google Hangouts, which will be interesting. So we'll figure that out. I have a plan. Don't worry about it. I'm not really set up for Google Hangouts, but we're going to make it work. And another special guest that's coming up is Daryl Marble. You may know him as D Marble. Many people know him as the guy that got on a plane with a spirit level and flew across the United States, taking note over a time-lapsed camera that the plane that he was on wasn't descending at all. So you're flying over a ball on a plane, but the plane doesn't descend until takeoff and landing. It just keeps going straight into outer space. Now, I thought that was cool. I actually repeated that experiment with a bubble level app. So anyway, we'll get him on the show. He's agreed to come on the show on Wednesday via call-in. So if you guys are fans of Daryl Marble, tune in on Wednesday of next week. I'll have him on same time. I try to get on the show live around 8:30, 8:45. Days like today, it's a little after 9. So I'm late to my own show. You know, I'm realizing this now, trying to actually stick to doing a show in the morning, that there's certain times when it would be really handy to have a producer, somebody to help me out. Because doing it all myself is, you spend most of the time just setting up. It's, I mean, I don't mind having people on the show. I think it's fun. It's awesome. But sometimes people kind of give you the runaround a bit. Like in my world, do you want to be on the show or no? Just say yes or no. I don't, I'm not really. It's like a 20-minute show. I have a banana, we chat for a bit, and then I go about my day. If that's too much for some people. I'm just reading headlines here. The Mick Mueller report was a big nothing burger, apparently. Or did Benjamin Netanyahu somehow make the findings of the Mueller report go away because President Trump recognized the Golan Heights as Israeli territory? I don't really want to get into talking about the Israeli-Palestinian conflict right now, but I've written about it a lot on my website. Go on Google and type in, you can type in Clash of the Cultures, Adam Josh. That's one of the headlines or for the articles I wrote. What else? The Brexit situation in the UK, more UK deadlock. MP seize control of Brexit. What a ridiculous joke. Is this the new collective insanity? We're just going to be doing this every year. Like, when I grew up, I remember the Queen dying. And then now, it's like, no, the Queen's still alive. Desiree and I have talked about this before. This collective insanity of, like, the Queen really died, right? And then you grow up like, no, the Queen never dies. She just stays 90 forever. And Brexit, same thing. Like, we were talking about this 5 years ago. They want to leave the European Union. The people of the United Kingdom are voting to leave the European Union. No, we just keep talking about it for 5 years. We never actually leave anything or leave. It's soft, it's hard, it's a, no deal. It's seized control now. The MPs have seized control. Let my people go. It's just such an affront to globalist power grabbing that it just is not allowed to happen. Boris Johnson is saying, "Let my people go." It's such an affront to globalist power grabbing and the New World Order long-term plan that it just literally cannot be allowed to happen. In France, every weekend is the new thing. We just burn stuff down. So, crazy world we live in, and it's flat as a pancake. I feel like it's getting flatter every day. What do you guys think? Earth is getting flatter every day? I mean, it's so flat that the powers that be have to create these scenarios where they film these fake movies. Jeez. Sorry, I'm getting in the chat now. You should see this, what I got going on here, my setup here. Hi, Constance. Leveling out nicely, LOL. Constance, I'm not sure if you're a fan of Daryl Marble, but he has agreed to be on the Morning Banana Show next week on Wednesday morning, so that'd be, if you're marking something down on the calendar, that'd be cool to tune into. If you have any questions for him as well, I'll be glad to take them. But check out what I'm doing here, Constance. So I have my two devices set up. That's one is for live streaming on Twitter and one is for YouTube. Well, basically my old phone. I mean, they're decent cameras, right? I brought in a high def camera, like an actual camera in here, and it wasn't as good as these, so I'm just leaving these. Plus, the mics are good. Yeah, no, as far as Daryl Marble goes, he's somebody that when I first got into flat Earth, I don't know what you guys did, or you specifically, Constance, or what you did when you got into flat Earth and finding out about it. Did you go a little loopy? I did. I started calling people. Like I was kind of like, how did this one get by me? How did this get by me? So I started calling people in the flat Earth community that were there before me, and just being like, "You guys put me on? Is this some kind of joke? Is this some kind of hilarious joke designed to make me laugh? Because I am not laughing. I am not this laughing right now, and I want to be with laughing. And if you are on the joke, if you're telling me it's a joke, then I want to know the joke. Is this a joke? Because I'm very confused right now, and I have a lot of things to do with the working, and I'm very confused." So I called people, and I was Daryl Marble. It was like early 2015, maybe late 2014. I found his phone number and I just called him. I was like, "Hey." He goes, "Hey, how you doing?" And we chatted for a while. We chatted for about an hour. I said, "So this whole flat Earth thing, like, how did you get into it, huh? What's going on? Flat Earth." So we chatted for a bit, and at the end, I think we were just kind of laughing. And in the end of the conversation, he's like, "No, I did the spirit level experiment, and I really believe what I found, and didn't know who to call." I believe months later, my brother called me. I'm pretty sure we don't live on a globe. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's nobody in my family that I could really talk to, and funnily enough, the adopted Islamic family that I have, they're, as far as I can say until now, they're total space cadets. My testing was photographic and just observing water. Yeah, I mean, that's, for me it was, I got on a couple planes and I did the spirit level experiment myself. I was on Twitter when I was showing that. Like, I had theory in my head first, but I thought, okay, well, let's do some experiments. I can go on a plane with a bubble level and just watch it for the whole flight. I can look out the plane window and see if it's flat or not. So I observed those two things, and the bubble level experiments that I did wasn't just on a plane like Daryl Marble did. Daryl Marble is pretty infamous for that bubble level, spirit level experiment. They wrote articles about him in the UK about it. So, I mean, that inspired me to contact him. And I think anybody watching this knows the four or five other people that I'm familiar with. So all these people that Robbie Davidson, the Flat Earth Conference, this type of thing, Beyond the Curve, the people that you see there, a lot of them, they came in after the fact. So people kind of came in late to the game and kind of hijacked the movement. And I'm not saying that's, how do you know everybody's intentions? I'm willing to have a conversation with almost anybody. And so I'm really excited to have Daryl Marble calling in. And if you guys have any questions, direct message me on Twitter or email me the questions, and I will try to relay them to him. I haven't talked to him, aside from just setting up the interview, I haven't talked to him in a while. Probably 3 years now. 3 or 4 years I haven't talked to him. So, time flies, eh? Getting a feel for the rational. Yeah, it's 2019. I talked to that guy in like late 2014 on the phone, and time just vanishes. We vaporize the time. Where does it go? It seems like it was. Desiree was asking me, "How do you have his phone number?" And I said, "Well, I have his phone number because he gave it to me." She goes, "Daryl Marble gave you his phone number?" And I said, "Yeah, he gave me his phone number like 5 years ago." and I said, "I just haven't called him." I don't change my phone number. Maybe he hasn't changed his phone number. I don't know. And then, we're going back and forth in text, and Desiree was kind of like, who are you, Adam? Where you just call people and they answer. You're texting Math Powerland and you're calling these people and they talk to you. Like these are like YouTube celebrities. And I'm like, Desiree, I don't know if you know this or not, but I'm kind of a big deal. Yeah. My saving grace to whatever I am. My saving grace is that I've never had to do any of this for money. So it creates a kind of a vacuum of space where I can just be chill. I'm not pressured to sell anybody anything. I don't feel that pressure. Where I really do understand, if you've made the flat Earth your entire livelihood, and you've decided I'm going to give up my job. Yeah, I'm going to give up my job to just focus on flat Earth. Then you should make some money out of it. I do not disagree with that. You should make some money out of it. But then, the mortgage payment comes out. And you're like, okay, need some more money. So I get it. There's pressure to make money in any business that you're in. So I feel for the guys who have made flat Earth their economy. Yeah, whatever you're made of will eventually manifest. So for me, I invite that stuff. So that doesn't faze me at all. Spotlight, no spotlight. I've been in bands before, and I think after being on stage for a couple of years, you kind of get a lot of that, what people call stage fright or whatever, out of you. One of the first morning shows I ever had, one of the first YouTube shows I ever had was it was called Lunchtime with Adam. You could try to find it on YouTube or online. I did 100 episodes of Lunchtime with Adam in an old office. I started it, I think, in my early 20s. And I had a theme song and everything. It's not supper time, no, it's not brunch, it's lunchtime with Adam. And I documented 100 lunches before I was vegan. I think I was kind of vegetarian towards the end. And back in the day, we were on a website called Acid Planet, a Sony-run Acid Planet website, which is not even a website anymore. So like 2004, I was doing kind of similar stuff to what I'm doing now, in a little bit longer of a format. And I went down the rabbit hole of video editing. Don't seek public attention. You're singing with missionary kids in public arenas. Yeah. Attention is thrust upon me. Yeah, I did that too. I was in Saskatchewan. We traveled and I played gospel songs. Yeah. No, I'm listening. I'm reading and I'm listening and I'm trying to respond as well. I'm here. We're all here. I'm here. Yeah. And it's weird when you get into religious circles and talk about attention and attention seeking, people take it really weird. I was married. I'm a divorced guy, right? So I was married to a woman who, when we first met, we were in Bible college. And you may remember that story that I went to a Bible college in 2001. And I remember writing a song. Is it wrong to write a song for a friend when you're a believer? Like, she had me convinced at one point in college that every song should be about God. And everything, because all your attention and all your worship should be towards God. And that there shouldn't be any songs or any praise or anything for anybody else but God. Can you imagine? She had me convinced of that at one point. And then I started realizing, wait a minute, this is a little crazy. Every song should be about God. Like, there's weird mental mind games that go on in religious circles. So I'm glad that you got out of that. And I'm glad for my own personal sanity that I got out of that. And her and I are now divorced. And it turns out in the end that she was cheating on me and got pregnant with somebody else's kid. And now that kid is probably like 16 years old. So not my child, and unfortunately has some autism. So, in the end, karma has a ways of taking care of things. I mean, I would have stayed, I'm the type of guy that I would have stayed married to this dysfunctional lady my entire life. I'm a one woman man. I'm a commitment junkie. I wanted to get married at 21, so that didn't work. Yeah, but my coffee's done. Banana's done. I'm probably going to have another coffee before I head out. I have to go to, oh yeah, the relationship was super toxic. I've never been able to identify up until then with men who get hit by their wives, but I was actually punched in the face a few times and prodded and poked a lot, but it was abusive by any definition. And it's weird when you get hit, when you get punched by a woman in the face. I remember she punched me, and I was standing at the door. I was trying to get out because I realized she was getting stabby. So I decided to try to leave, and she blocked the door and then punched me. And I remember I fell to the ground because she kind of cocked me sideways on my cheek. And she hit me so hard, my cheek was actually bleeding. And I'm on the ground, and I'm thinking to myself, what am I doing? I can't get up and hit her. I can't get up and move her. I don't want to talk to her. She's standing in front of the door. I just kind of got up and I'm like, seriously? Can you please move? Like, what am I supposed to do? I'm not going to call the police on you. Just move out of my way. I'm trying to leave. She finally, when she saw me bleeding and the mark that she left, she finally like took a step back and blinked. No, I didn't have a back door in this. This is an old place. An old place. An old apartment I was renting. So that was the only way out, and I was on the second story, so the other ways would have been a window. Just on the second floor. So, yeah. And so that was a turning point for me when I realized, when she really clocked me like that was a turning point for me. And I got out of that. Yeah, the moment she had realized what she had done. And I felt very strongly, and I felt upset about that for quite a long time, and then kind of over it. But her and I met after the divorce. We met as recently as I think it was, I want to say 2012, 2011. We met at a Starbucks, and she just kind of like went over everything, and she's like, "Look, Adam, I'm sorry, and I was young, and we got married young, and we shouldn't have got married." And I was like, "Hey, whatever you want to say, whatever you need to get off your chest is fine with me. I feel like a different person now." So I was like, "Yeah, I accept your apology, and I'm sorry if I did anything wrong." And we kind of had just a chit chat like that. And then yeah. And then the last I heard after that was that she left the Starbucks and was heading back home and got in a car accident. And then she wound up in the hospital, and she was blaming me for the whole thing, saying, I left your place and I got in a car accident. And I hope you're happy. I had a concussion and now I have brain damage. And okay, I don't even know her anymore. So it's like, yeah, well, I hope you. Then she messaged me that I was trying to call you and your phone was off, and I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. And then I got the bill for messaging you, and the bill was $700, and I feel bad, so I'm gonna give you half of the money I took from the bank account. Like, she had some issues. I was telling Desiree, she actually tried to make up with me by sending me money, and I know that Desiree believed me, but I showed her, when somebody wires you money, you have a email receipt. So she tried to wire me, not a lot of money, like $600-700, and I'm looking at it like, this is a single mom, and of an autistic child who obviously needs medication and support. I have an autistic brother, so I'm aware of how taxing that can be. And a single mom, and she's trying to send me money. because she feels bad about money she took from my bank when she left me. Like, we had a joint bank account. I learned so much. I don't have joint bank accounts with anybody now, but back then I didn't know any better, so I had a joint bank account. And yeah, I never took the money, and I told Desiree I never took the money, and I showed her the proof. And just weird, a weird case. I don't know. She might have gotten in a car accident. She might not have. What can you really believe? I'm not sure. And if she's watching this, she probably is. It's okay. You know, I forgive you. Whatever. Crazy times when we were in our 20s. So yeah, she convinced me at one point that I couldn't write a song for anybody else but God, is how we started talking about her. And it took me a while to get out of these weird religious mindsets where you can't write songs for anybody else but God. Like, kidding me? So I get it, that there's a lot of weird vibes that go around, because it's no secret that when you're on stage, obviously you're a point of attention, and so people can let that go to their head, and people do. Think of how many musicians out there go crazy, they get suicidal, they go on drugs, whatever. And I understand it. I have friends, like I just talked to one of my buddies. He's like, yeah, I'm sorry we couldn't hook up on Sunday because I played a show on Saturday and I played a show on Sunday. And I'm like, okay, well, do you want to get together this weekend? He goes, well, I'm playing a show on Saturday and I'm playing a show on Sunday. Like, Desiree knows. I have a couple friends that are in bands. To me, it's not a big deal. I grew up in bands. At one point, I just got out of it. My last stint was playing drums in a band called Panic, P-A-N-I-K. And I got out of it because I was tired of playing cover songs. I wanted to play original music. I'm a musician that has all my own songs, so I thought, well, I'll just do my own stuff. But anyway, that's a whole other story. Yeah. Dependent on the high attention. Yeah, exactly. I'm reading what you're saying. Yeah. How you perceive yourself in the music business and the music industry and how other people perceive you are usually two different things. And if you have a level head and you can handle the whatever is going on in your life and differentiate, then and other people want to say you're this or you're that, like you can't stop other people from perceiving you whatever way they want to perceive you. So that's the morning banana. I have to go to Home Depot and do a bunch of shopping, and then I'm doing residential repairs all day. And I'm also going to be building an entertainment center later. I don't know when I'm going to start that. So stay tuned. Next week, we're going to have Daryl Marble on. And thank you, Constance, for chatting. And everybody have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Maybe we'll have Paul Michael Bales on tomorrow. We'll see. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.